social interaction and stuff that I got was mostly bullying and stuff like that. You see, I barely keep in contact with any of the people I graduated with. I know you probably do the same since knowing your age. I'm not trying to call you old or anything like that. I know how people are. They fall off the face of the earth when you graduate, but I just graduated 2 years ago, and I don't talk to anybody that I graduated with.
I do not talk to anybody. Well, I mean, I'm 45, so yeah, it's been a while since I've been out of school, but I don't keep in contact with anybody that I went to school with. But I'm kind of hard to get a hold of anyway, you know. I'm still analog, you know.
I mean, when I was in high school and stuff, I joined the fire service when I was 16 years old, and majority of what I put my energy into was that and stuff, because math and all that in high school and all that, I hated that crap, and I was never good at it, but I joined the fire service at 16, and I've been doing it for about 4 years now, and what people, I see, Facebook and all that social media and all that, our greatest Achilles heel, and I see how people are getting engaged, my age, getting married, having kids and all that. Here I am going to the next structure fire, helping some old granny off the floor that fell, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
Well, you know, I mean, that I get that. I mean, I got a buddy of mine at work that does the same thing, and he actually, man, he'd rather just do that, you know, full time instead.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I've been a volunteer for 4 years, but the thing is, up here you have to be 21 to get onto the paid staff. I have all my certifications. I didn't even have to pay a dime to get all my certifications that I have. I just have to wait about 6 more months until I turn 21 years old until I can put my application in with the paid.
So you're gonna try and do that if you happen to move out west?
Oh yeah, most of my certifications are national, so they'll come with me when I move.
Yeah, Roger. It's a harder terrain.
Stuff like that. I have the free range to move into anywhere I want to. Well, most states, I mean, like New York, like if I want, not that I don't want to go, not that I want to go to New York, but New York, they don't have anything that's recognized up there. But Montana does.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I mean, you know, it's a different terrain for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, just even like the smaller cities, it's not uncommon to get like at least 100 calls, 100 EMS calls there a day, at least.
Yeah, that's a lot of running around, dude.
Oh yeah, I mean, one of our jurisdictions just got a brand new ambulance. Just got it, guess how many miles are on that son of a bitch now?
Now, do you, like, if you got to respond to every call?
Well, I mean, like, it's volunteer, so, like, if we're available at the station or available at the house and we go get a unit and stuff, or I meet them on scene, but, like, the pay staff, they just got that one about 2 months ago. It got about 20,000 miles on it.
Yeah, Roger. Now, do you work, and I mean, do they let you leave work if you have to?
No, negative. No, they don't let me leave. So I just have to sit there. Like I have notifications on my phone. Like if we get a call, after 911, like if we get a call, it'll show up on my phone what the call is and what's happening and all that. I get real pissed off when I'm just down the street when we get the call and stuff like that. I can't leave.
Yeah, Roger.
I told them if something happens and if there's a big call or something like there's something down the street that's really serious, like a structure fire or somebody coded or somebody's not breathing or there's a big accident or something like that, I told them, I'm going to leave. You can fire my ass if you want to, but I'm walking out that door and go helping somebody because I keep my medical kit in my car and I keep some of my fire gear in my car.
Well, yeah, that's a good thing, man. You got to keep all kind of something like that. I mean, you know, I kind of got like a get home bag in my truck box, you know, just in case, you know.
Oh yeah, I keep my EMS bag in there. I keep an active shooter kit. I have 2 tourniquets in the active shooter kit. I got a quick climb
conditions are kind of moving around out there. Did I totally lose you out there? Did I lose you out there in Virginia?
Yeah, I got you in there, Delta 101. Yeah, I think the conditions are starting to change out there, 10-4.
Yeah, roger that. You kind of dropped out on me for a second there.
Well, I'm going to cut it short now because I don't know how much longer we got. It was a nice Qso that we had. The name here is Josh, Juliet Oscar Sierra Hotel. And I'm glad to hear that there's more people out there like good American patriots out there.
Hey, roger that, man. Hey, feel free to give me a holler. I hang out as a local channel anyway, down on 38. But yeah, they call me Wingnut. 1122, the 1122. Roger.
Okay, all right, okay, Wingnut. My number is 955, like I said earlier. But I usually talk on 38, or I usually go up on 555 there, 10-4.
Hey, roger that. Well, 555's been dead, so it's, at least in my area, man, for a couple years. So I mean, I monitor every once in a while, but I talk to a lot of my locals right on 38 anyway, man. And if Skip happens to come in, it happens to come in, Roger.
Yeah, 10-4. Before I started talking to you, I made 3 contacts on triple nickel. I made 1 contact up in New York and 2 contacts in Florida.
Well, see, that's okay and all, but what was it, 6 or 7 years ago, man? I was making contacts out into Europe on the triple nickel, so that's what I'm looking for, some of that outside of the U.S. type skip.
Oh yeah, 10-4. A couple of weeks ago, I talked to someone in Germany on 395 of all places, and he was coming in just like you're coming in right now.
Yeah, roger that. Well, I mean, I love it when it's like this, personally, because, I mean, I'm like I said, I'm still analog. I like talking on the radio. And, I don't even do social media. I mean, as close as I get is like YouTube, but I don't do social media. I used to do Facebook, but, man, I don't even do any of that. To me, this is the original social media anyway, Roger.
Yeah, 10-4. Just how many watts I'm putting at you?
I don't know, about 100.
About 24.
Oh, no kidding. Well, right now you're giving me a pretty good signal.
Yeah, 10-4. I got you in there right now pretty good.
I think, yeah, it's just moving right back in there. But I think I'm only giving you probably about 60, 70 watts.
Yeah, 10-4. I'm on a barefoot radio right now, putting about 24, 25 watts. I'm on a Magnum 57 with an Amtron 99, about 40 feet in the air.
Hey, Roger. Yeah, I'm talking on a Striker 955 set up here in the house as a base station with a D104 desk mic with a lollipop style type desk mics on it, and with a Mako 58 Mako 58s up there up on the tower.
Yeah, 10-4. That's what I'm using right now, the D104.
So, is that right? Yep,
10-4. I think it was my grandfather's.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I like, man, I've always had a soft spot for this old microphone, but I want to get they got those, there's these different types of heads for them for the mic element, but they look like kind of like a bullet shape. I want to get one of those, man. I think the element inside it is actually made more for like sideband type talking, or like actually voice recognition type talking and whatever, better than these lollipop type heads. I still haven't found one yet.
Yeah, 10-4. I mean, the lollipop, I've had no trouble with it so far. I mean, I have a family member just down the road from me, and we talk on the radio and stuff like that, and he says this sounds really good. But the stock mic that came with the radio and stuff like that, it's a piece of crap, to be honest. And you have to talk real close to the microphone to get out, really, and you have to press it down real hard. But I like this microphone. It feels old style. Feels like it feels like you're back in the 60s and 70s talking on the radio.
Yeah, Roger. Well, yeah, it's got good sound. I like it personally, and I mean, I can barely have it cracked open, when it comes down to the microphone itself, and then I just let the radio do most of the work when it comes down to mic gain, And man, because this thing will pick up everything in the room, and it'll pick up my air conditioner, fan, everything else in there.
Oh yeah, 10-4. Like if my dogs are outside the shop barking and stuff like that, yeah, people can hear them. But it's a very, very, very sensitive microphone, I know.
Well, it's been good to me. I've got a couple of them actually, but I've had a few of them over the years. But I got a buddy of mine. It's not that far away from me, man. But he's got a collection of old D104 lollipops, man. I think he's got probably about over 500 of them suckers. Some of them brand new, still in the box.
Good Lord, why is he hoarding them?
I've asked him the same question, and he won't give me a straight answer. The only thing I know is that when he passes on, he's going to leave them to his son. Other than that, I don't know why. He used to rebuild them too, and mod them a little bit. He'd shorten this he shortened it up. Put the foot switch down there on the base, and then just get rid of the chicken choker and shorten the stem altogether and make these little tiny ones. And but yeah, I don't know why. I really don't. But if there's ever a shortage on D104 microphones, he's probably one of the reasons why.
Yeah, 10-4. I mean, he could probably sell them things individually for a good amount of money there, 10-4. I know a lot of people probably want one.
He could. And I don't know why, because I'm gonna tell you something, man. He wants an arm and a leg for some of them too. He's got this one, because at the time I had this, those big black bass radios, kind of like it was what I had is Eagle 2000. It's kind of like the Galaxy something or other or whatever, but it's like big black bass radio, mostly an AM talker, not really good on sideband. But he had this microphone that had almost like it looked like rhino lining. It was just black, almost everywhere it was black except for just a couple of little, like this one little, like the rim around the microphone was still chrome, and then I think the key the key switch was chrome. I think that was it. Everything else was black, and I was like, man, that would look perfect next to my radio. And he just would not sell it to me. And then if I try to ask him how much you want for it, and he's like, man, you can't afford it.
Good Lord. I mean, you got people and stuff. I'm on Facebook groups on Facebook and stuff for CB radios and stuff. You should, some of the base stations are just out of this world and stuff, and then you get into the amateur radio world and stuff where people have all their base stations and stuff, man. Just tens of thousands of dollars, probably pushing up to $100,000 worth of radio equipment in them rooms.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know another guy. He's got a shitload of radios, like old stuff like that. It's kind of like probably in the same amount of numbers when it comes to radios, amplifiers, all that kind of stuff. Man, some of it works, some of it doesn't. But all kinds of stuff, and it's just that he won't get rid of any of it either. But me, I got one in the house, I got one in the truck, I got one in a box trying to save it, and that's my backup. And I'm eventually gonna try and get another radio to be the backup for the backup, and then that's all I need. And anything else is just cream of the crop, cream on the cake, Roger.
Oh yeah, 10-4. I got one in my truck too. It's just an AM Cobra. I can't remember the model name on it, but when the skip rolls through though, it does really good in the truck. But my radio I have right now, for some reason the AM won't work on my radio. I can cut the AM on, I can receive a little bit. I can transmit pretty good, but I just can't hear nobody on AM when people are talking. So I have to I'm thinking about taking it to the shop here in the next couple months and get it fixed so I can talk on AM on this radio. But with this radio I got the clarifier on it is just so sensitive and stuff. If you just knock it by accident when you're on the frequency dial, you'll be way off frequency. Like you just accidentally just flip to the other side.
Well, see, that's another thing too, man. I've gotten away from just regular CB radios. I've gotten away from the big base stations and all that stuff. I got all mobile radios like this Striker 955. It's a mobile radio, but like I said, I got it set up in the house as a base station. But I also got an Anytone Quad 6 in the truck. Now these are technically marketed for 10 meter radios. They're like on the high end of 10 meter radios, ham radios, and they're easily modified to actually where you can expand the frequency to get 11 meters on it also. And that's what I've been veering toward, is all these new high-end 10-meter radios that are so easy to mod to where you can talk on 11. And they got good quality audio. They're very stable on sideband. You know, there's a lot of qualities when it comes down to, like, you know, that are so much more better than like the old Cobras, the old Galaxies and stuff like that, especially talking on sideband. You know what I mean? You know, now a lot of those are just AM talkers. They're nice, but you know, but the circuitry and all that stuff has just gotten a lot better, and some of them are kind of not that expensive. You know, you can probably find you know, deals like, you know, because a lot of the stuff is all made at, like the Striker and the Anytones are made in China. You can find deals and get a slow boat from China and get a real damn good deal sometimes. But that's what I've been veering toward.
My radio is a 257. It's a 10 meter radio also, but it has 12 meter and 10 meter on it. So it's between 12 meter and 10 meter, so you can get 11 meter on it also. So you don't have to mess with the inside, the programming and all that. But I saw this one radio on Amazon. It was a Uniden radio, had everything in the microphone. It's just like a little box that you hook up like a regular radio, but everything's in the microphone, like the clarifier, the volume, the mic gain, the power, the squelch, the RF gain, and all that. It's all built into the microphone, so you don't have to just fool with the box anymore.
Well, yeah, I think that's just a strictly AM radio, though.
No, negative. It's a sideband also.
Now, is that like just for the CB band, or is that opened up for, you know, up into 10 and down to 12?
No, it's just strictly 11 meter.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring. Just that 40 channel block. That's it.
Yeah, 10-4.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't think they had sideband on. I thought they were strictly AM.
Oh no, you can find Cobra radios with sideband on it also.
Yeah, well, their sideband circuit, when it comes down to like the clarifier and all that stuff, and it's trying to stay stable on frequency, they tend to drift, you know, because you know, the circuits on it, they warm up and they, you know, cool off, whatever, and they tend to drift a little bit on frequency. They're not very stable. I don't like that about Galaxies or Cobras.
I have a radio in my closet that's a realistic from Radio Shack. I'm thinking about putting it in. It's an AM radio, strictly AM, 11 meter, just a 40 channel, but because I can't talk on AM, you know, for right now, I'm thinking about putting it in here so I can talk on AM. But usually AM is just such a mess down there. You can't hardly pick anybody out most of the time.
Well, yeah, and a lot of the locals around here that talk, a lot of the older fellas around here that talk AM and stuff like that, they're all about the big radios and stuff. I ain't got enough wattage to push out to even compete with any of them guys sometimes. I'm so way back there in the background. I just like sideband because I can run about close to 100 watts and I can talk to anybody I want to when the conditions are right.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is what 25 watts is what I've always ran since I started out on CB and stuff, and it's been doing pretty good. I mean, I've talked to Europe, talked to South America, talked to Asia, talked to Australia, talked to Hawaii, talked to Alaska, Canada, and all that. I mean, I can understand all the big wattage and all that stuff to try to get out. I'm pretty happy where I'm at right now on my wattage on a barefoot radio.
Oh yeah, Roger. Yeah, I'm not running amp, just a straight radio on this thing too. You know, eventually I'm gonna get like a little Either a little 2 pill, or actually, if I can afford it, I want to get like a little 4 pill high drive and sit it in here, and then have a comfortable speed around 100 to 200 watts, and leave it there where I still have the option of where I can crank it up to 500 if I want. But that's what I want to get. I was like a 4 pill high drive. That if I want to get one built, but it comes down to money.
Oh yeah, 10-4. I'm thinking about building my own antenna. I'm thinking about building a dipole to put outside and see what that can do up here. And thinking about getting a horizontal too sooner or later to try out and stuff. Put a rotator on it.
Well, I know a dipole works real well. Like, I mean, I know what's his name. His name's Kenny. 711 up there in Cleveland, Ohio. He talks on one. He's got like in a upside down V shape, and with the center up top, and pointing the two ends down toward the earth, like a 45-degree angle almost. And boy, I'm gonna tell you, that thing does a damn good job. But I've been thinking about doing some experimenting with dipole, long wire type antennas, and just change the shape instead of having it straight out, changing the shape into like bend it in like some weird geometric shape, because I started looking at like cell phone antennas, and how they cram this antenna into a cell phone and what they do, and really all it is just a long wire on a board that's all like configured in this like geometric shape. That's how it crams it into this small space. And I was like, whoa, I wonder if I can do that with a regular 11-meter antenna.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, you can make an antenna any shape you want to, as long as you get a good SWR on it and I'm on a brain fart right now. That little thing where you connect to a coax to when you can tune it. But I'm pretty sure you can probably whatever you want to. You can make it more shape if you want to build one. But as long as it gets a good SWR, I think that should be no problem.
Well, see, I mean, if you think about it, if I could get the SWRs to down or whatever, that'd just pack that antenna into a small space. It'd be a little tiny, tiny antenna compared to this long wire stretched out there in the yard.
Yeah, 10-4, but I mean, how long you probably get some good receive on it, but I don't know how good you'll be able to transmit it on it such a little space. And depends on how high it is up.
Yeah, it's experimental. It really is, because I mean, I'm trying to think outside the box. I'm trying to take cues from different technologies of antenna type of technologies. Because I was even looking at like TV antennas, some of these new digital TV antennas or whatever. I cracked open one of those things one time and I was looking at it, and basically what it is just a J pole or a triple J pole or something like that that's connected to a board. So I mean, I was sitting there and I was just like, well, maybe I can try something.
Yeah, I mean, my radio and stuff. I mean, my antenna I got the Antron 99. It's about 40 feet up in the air. It's a vertical, and then I got another antenna that got hit by a tree that I was planning to put up here a couple years ago. It was like a V shape. It had three poles, and it had a straight pole like a vertical, but it had the three poles like a horizontal. But sadly, it got smushed up by a damn tree, so I never got to fool with it. But my uncle has this guy building an antenna for him. It's like you said, like a V shape, like an upside down V. So I'm thinking about seeing what he thinks and see how good that does up here.
Well, I'll give you a hint. You can do this. You can have like a regular mast or a pole that you hang up the center of the dipole on, and then you have it coming down to like a cross section type pole going across that will hold the two ends down there at the bottom. And then if you got it, it'll kind of remind you of like a Christmas tree type shape. And then you can use that pole to spin it around, because that dipole in that almost is directional. So if you can spin that thing around, you can like actually get better, receive or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, 10-4. It just depends on your elevation and where you point the thing at and stuff. I mean, the higher you go with the antenna and stuff, the more better receive you're going to get, especially if like the skids rolls and all that, and you're going to have more transmitting power and all that. I mean, like I'm blocked around by trees and mountains, so I'm pretty surprised that when the skip rolls through, I can actually make some pretty good contacts.
I'm on top of a hill. I'm like on the 5th highest spot in the whole state of Florida.
Yeah, 10-4. And the flatlands and marshes down there. Yeah, I'm surrounded by all kinds of mountains and trees and stuff. My antenna don't even go above the trees.
Well, yeah, mine's not. Well, it definitely the top of it probably is above the trees, but shoot, 200 foot above sea level. That's pretty high up here.
I'm about 1,200 feet, 1,100 feet above sea level up here.
Oh, no kidding. That's some nice area up there. I've been around North Carolina area on that parkway, but it's beautiful.
Oh yeah, we got all kinds of steep mountains and stuff. I mean, you can go up on top of a peak and stuff. I mean, like amateur radio operators and stuff, they can carry one of their little mobile antennas, like a 2-meter antenna and stuff, so they can go up on top of the mountain and stuff. They can make some pretty good contacts on the repeaters.
Oh yeah, Roger.
Hey, Wingman, I'm sorry but I gotta go in and start cooking dinner. But it was nice having a nice Qso with you. This is the first time in a long time I've talked this long with one person. But I'll be listening out for you on 38 and other channels though. But I really appreciate talking with you.
Hey, no worries, man. Hey, I mean, I was getting kind of bored with all the crap that was going on over 38, and none of my locals were able to be found. So I was like wandering around anyway, and I'm glad I popped in and said hello and all that stuff. So yeah, man, feel free to give me a holler anytime, dude.
All right, Wingnut, I'll talk to you soon, and I hope you have a nice rest of your evening, and have a nice rest of your weekend there, and try to keep cool down there.
Hey, roger that, man. All right, man. All the best to you, man.
All right, 73. I'll be back after a while. I had to get away from all the I'll be back. Okay. I'm working on laundry. Yeah, it is rough and tough in there today. 7-11 Cleveland. First anybody. Thank you so much.